should you scale a business during a recession? And let's go with the round one winner, Steve Trang, first up.
I think that if you're prepared for this recession, like you've been planning for this recession and you got everything in place, then now it's time, you should go ahead and take advantage of it. But I think most people right now are seeing that they've been overspending, maybe not as careful with their marketing budget, maybe having people on board that maybe they shouldn't have had on board this whole time. So I say right now, for most people, now's the time to clean up, tighten everything up, make sure you got the right ROI, you got the right products you got the right people in place. Asking some of your people maybe to, step it up a little bit, let some people go. It's unfortunate, but I think right now is the time to make sure you survive and weather the storm so you can crush it when things change beginning of next year.
Okay. All right. Chris Jefferson, your opinion.
Yeah, listen, I love this question, man. It's time for killers to really step up, really step out, and really get active in this business, right? I've been sharpening my sword for 10 plus years. If you are new, old, it doesn't really matter. You need to be intentional about learning the things that you need to know right now. It's a perfect time to scale, perfect time to create massive, massive wealth. It's not any time to play scared. If you're scared to swing at the ball and you got a fast pitch fastball coming down the center, swing and hit a home run, man. That's what I'm out here doing. Look, don't even be my student if that's not what you're doing. Now's the time to really get wealthy. That's what we're doing so we can send RJ bottles in the club so he has something to drink. Let's go.
There we go. All right. RJ, your thoughts?
I absolutely agree with CJ. I think this is the time to be scaling up. Listen, we've been on this run where the market's been going up for 10 plus years. So we knew this was coming. This is not a surprise. It's not a shock. Supposedly half the country voted in Sleepy Joe. So we also knew it was coming after we did that. So the handwriting's been on the wall. Okay. And so for us, we have been prepared for this moment. We made sure that we got rid of the assets that we no longer wanted to hold forever. And we are fully prepared to scale up during this recession. And yes, we are in a recession. You can't just change definitions because you feel like it.
Okay. And RJ, do I have your verbal commitment that when you receive the bottles in the club from CJ, Big Weasel can participate in the activities?
It's a hard pass.
All right. Leon, your thoughts?
Market share gained during a recession should never be lost. Let me say that again. The market share that you gain today, you should never lose. But to Steve's point earlier, if you've prepared for it, RJ just mentioned this, we have been the last 3 years, every investor I know, their last 3 years have been their best years consecutively. Their best year was 2019. Their best year was 2020, 2021. If you've prepared for it financially, get after it, because the market share that you gain today, if you're a good business owner, you'll never lose it and you'll continue to grow.
Okay. Great points all around. Gentlemen, the floor is open.
I got a quick thought, right? So I'm somebody who started in 2008, and I hear this argument like if you prepared and this, that, and the third. I didn't come in necessarily fully prepared. I could have taken some very simple, basic concepts like seller financing at that point in time, substitution of collateral, and I could literally have created a massive, massive wealth opportunity for myself with little to no experience at the time. I don't think this is contingent of an opportunity on how good you are, what your skill set is. Will that benefit you? Yes. We're literally going into the lifetime opportunity. Take advantage of it. Do not play scared right now. This is not the time whatsoever.
Okay. Any other points that anyone would like to make before we?
I think one thing to add as far as preparation, I know that we all knew something was going to come. I don't think any of us expected it was going to be like this, right? Like watching the Fed jump the rate consecutively 75 bips, 2 meetings in a row, having the iBuyers that were depending on those interest rates for their yield, having that affect their purchasing price. Having it change this quickly, I don't think any of us have experienced a market shift this fast. I got to grow in 2007. I got to learn and experience it. I don't know too many people that got to experience we hit a wall, right? We didn't maybe, slow down a little bit. We didn't go from 100 to 85. We went from 100 to 30 overnight. So
CJ made some great points there. in regards to being creative, doing it outside the box, to less traditional, right? That said, the question was about scaling during the recession. And scaling, if you're doing it while lean and growing from, maybe you're doing 50 deals a year and you're trying to go to 100, you can still do that with the same type of team, same size. What I was talking about in regards to preparation is, if you try to go from 30 transactions a year to 300, that may be hard for you financially if you haven't prepared with the same type of business that you're running today. Absolutely, there's other ways to take advantage of it, but true scale of business with leaders and team and systems and process, it can be tough if you're not prepared for that.
Steve, to your point about this being different than what anybody else has experienced, I've asked for several years when I go to masterminds and meetups and things like that, the people that went through 2008, I would ask them, what would you have changed? How was that experience? And everything that I heard from them was, I've never experienced anything like it before. That was a once in a lifetime recession, and what happened. I think almost every time it's going to be different because there's a different cause of what's happening. I don't know if that plays too big of an impact on what CJ and I are saying, which is, we've kind of known that this moment was coming. We didn't know exactly what was going to be the cause of it, but at least we're prepared for the moment to capitalize on the opportunities that are presenting themselves.
Let me ask one last question, RJ. Would you agree that you could take somebody and within 30 days teach them a basic concept of seller financing, and they literally could go scale from 0 deals to 10 deals a year very easily? And over a 10-year period, now they've got a portfolio of 100 houses. They never had to use a bank to do this. They never had to do any of that. I could literally take somebody right now in 30 days and teach them the exact concept of seller financing, how to go implement it, how to have the conversation, and literally they're off to the races. So preparation, yes, but within context is all I'm saying.
I think that's
Absolutely.
pretty market specific as well, though. I mean, I think it depends on the market you're in. That could be
Sure,
crazy.
but you pick your market.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, you're in one of the epicenters that was hit the hardest in 2008. And what's to say it's not going to be hit the hardest in 2022? You know, I mean,
We don't know.
I don't know.
Everything-
Going back to that Opendoor question earlier, they got 10% of the active listings right now. So we'll see.
That's pretty.
They won.
That's pretty.
They
that's
took the
pretty
belt.
heavy.
They took the belt for W's for most won contracts.
All right. So, great points all around. We got some good comments as well. Bam Bam 704 said, now's the time to truly understand your KPIs, adjust, and scale. It's a very good point.
Know your numbers. That's another hashtag for you. Know your numbers.
There we go. Kip Stevens said, the panel looks like a lineup for a diversified softball team.
Softball.
Before we close out the
Softball?
voting, I just would love your opinions on that one, guys.
Softball, basketball. Oh, softball.
Steve has one step back.
They're
to the
looking at
list.
RJ with the beard and the hat. I think that's where they're going.
There you go.
Softball player.
The diversified.
He does look like he probably be really good at catching.
He looks like
No, he does,
he's
man. I
the
think
cleanup hitter.
RJ. He looks like from one of those movies, those baseball movies. The catcher had that beard, man. It does look like that for sure.
Yeah.
I did play catcher in high school.
See,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he would have killed on the U.S. women's softball team.
he's got to grow the hair back for that. He's got to grow it back out for that.
I'm proud of this question, Weasel. I finished in last place. Can we move on?
Well, I'd like to point out that as soon as you did not
Somebody called RJ Trump. I love this, man. I love it.
Yeah, there's a couple comments in there chirping RJ for sure. I'd just like to point out, RJ, that as soon as you said I can't enjoy the bottles in the club with you, you came in last place. So.